Okay, guys. Well. We have some breaking news in the NBA, and it involves none other than James Harden, Mr. Headlines himself. He's actually finally been traded, and after numerous discussions about where he'd end up, and obviously requesting that he'd like to be a member of the Los Angeles Clippers, it's finally come true, and he has been traded to the Clippers in exchange for Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum, Robert Covington, KJ Martin, multiple draft picks, and a pick swap. And on the other end, the Clippers receive Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philip Petrusev. So that, to me, it's going to change the landscape of the NBA in a whole, from both the Clippers standpoint and the Sixers. Means Tyrese Maxey gets to have the ascension that he would like as that second co-star to Joel Embiid, and James Harden finally gets a new home and can continue his NBA career. What it means for both teams, we don't know. It's going to be a bit of mystery, but nonetheless, it's definitely shaken up the landscape of the NBA. Marcus, what do you make of the trade, and what are your initial thoughts about the whole move for James Harden to go to the Clippers, I should say?
I guess my initial thought, like when I got that WhatsApp text from you, I was like, whoa, James Harden, he's a Clipper. That was crazy. But my initial thought that went through my head was like, how is Russell Westbrook now going to operate for the Clippers? Because obviously Harden's got to start. Like, there's no doubt. He's still James Harden. He might not be the MVP Harden. He might not be that All-NBA first team James Harden. But he's still an all-star caliber guy. He's still like a really good scorer in this league, really good playmaker in this league. It's just, I don't think Westbrook, I know they played together before and they've succeeded, but that's Harden back in the day where he was a sixth man for the OKC Thunder. He was like a secondary third option. He was a catch and shoot player. He didn't have the full license to dribble out the clock, to take those step back threes. He was more of it was an efficient version of James Harden. And it's like, as talented as this team is, Paul George, Kawhi, Harden, Westbrook, not everybody can aid in this scenario. And PG and Kawhi are certainly going to get theirs. But it's like, how can Westbrook now fit in? And to me, the answer is he has to be a sixth man, or he has to be a second string point guard, because it's too much going on to me. But I do think, with all that being said, all I've said that's negative about this deal, they do definitely ascend into championship contention even more so. Obviously, when you add a guy like James Harden, even if that's losing Marcus Morris, Batum, Rocco, I think Batum, his best is far behind him, like so far behind him, and then Morris is a quality player, as is Rocco, but ultimately, Rocco's back in Philadelphia. That's all that matters, baby. Let's go. Trust the process. Now they just need to get Nerlens back and Tony Roden, but they're looking up, The process is forever processing.
And Michael Carter-Williams.
And MCW. The process is forever processing. Nah, we love Philly. Hopefully, I wish them all the best. But, yeah, I definitely do think Clippers go out winners, and, obviously they do ascend into a better team. What did you make out of initially when you first saw the news?
Well, I called it in that hot takes
too.
video, which is soon to come out. We haven't released it yet, but we have already filmed it. And I did mention that one of the hot takes, I don't know if it was for the Sixers or the Clippers, but I said that James Harden would be a Los Angeles Clipper by the trade deadline, and it's only taken 3 games in the season for it to happen. So I think it's good for all parties. I think, like I said, the Sixers, although they might not have won this particular trade, they definitely, allow Tyrese Maxey to fully develop. They don't stunt his growth. They obviously show that they've got trust in him to be that second co-star. And like I mentioned, we did an awards prediction video just a few minutes ago. We filmed that, and I said that, he probably complements Embiid a lot better. He's not such an ISO player. He doesn't need to dribble out the shot clock. He's a lot more, a faster pace kind of guy. He likes to push the ball in transition. He likes to get out in the break, but he can also score from all 3 levels. So I think that complementing Joel Embiid's more like ISO style of play, and more post ups, and wanting to have the ball in his hands a lot more, it's probably going to complement Embiid in that side of things. They do lose PJ Tucker, but I think that's made up for with the acquisition of Rocco, who obviously is a great defender. I think is an upgrade on PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
He's a better scorer. PJ Tucker's getting on in age. Again, PJ Tucker, nothing against him, not taking away anything from his ability, but he is getting on now, and he's probably not the defender he was when he was with the Milwaukee Bucks during that championship run, and also when he was with the James Harden at the Houston Rockets. But again, there's no reason why Philadelphia can't improve their record now, even without James Harden. And for the Clippers, I think being able to keep Terrence Mann out of this deal, who they seem to rate super highly, I think that's a win for them. And again, anytime you can get an All-NBA caliber player in James Harden, to me, you can't say no, despite the toxicity that he's had, obviously, with the Philadelphia 76ers, with the Brooklyn Nets, and now on his third team in basically 3 years. It's obviously some red flags and alarm bells there. Is it on James Harden? Is it on the front office? Again, that's up for debate. That's up for discussion. But it's not a good look, and it doesn't bode well for James Harden. But again, I think the Clippers needed to do something in this situation. Obviously, they gave up a lot to get PG and Kawhi into the organization, and obviously with them not being fully healthy over the years, it's probably stunted their ability to win a championship. And obviously bringing in Westbrook does help to an extent, but he's not going to swing the needle too far to obviously push the Clippers into championship contention like a guy in the case that James Harden does. So, yeah, I think you had to do it. And I think people discredit what Harden can do. To me, he's still an All-NBA caliber player, like you mentioned. He still could average, 22, 8, and 10 in this league. And for any other player, that's considered almost all-star numbers. But because we expect so much of James Harden, we expect him to average 36, 6, and 6, or we expect him to reach that kind of production because that's what he's done over the years. And when he was at Houston in his prime years, people just discredit the fact that him averaging that is now a down year or it's not great production. When, as a matter of fact, he was nearly leading the league in assists. He's won assist titles in the past. He can still be a great playmaker. The only question mark is PG loves to create on the ball. Kawhi, pretty much the same thing out of that high post and, coming off, in a two-man game. How is that going to work alongside a ball-dominant guard in James Harden? As long as he's willing to give the ball up and, be that facilitator that we know he can be, I think it's going to work well for the Clippers. But again, his health, his mindset, all of that's going to come into question, as well as the fit, like you mentioned, with Russell Westbrook. But I think they do lose a little bit of bench depth, but they do gain a quality star player in James Harden that's only going to help push them further into championship contention. So it's going to be interesting, but I think it was needed on both parties. I think it was needed on the Sixers side of things. It was needed on the Clippers. They needed to make a move to really, push themselves up in that Western Conference, because it is getting quite stacked and quite competitive now with the Nuggets, the Suns, Warriors, Lakers, Mavs. There's a lot of teams now vying for that number one spot, even the Kings. So Clippers needed to do something, and I think with James Harden available, you have to pull the trigger. So, yeah, I don't blame them for making this move.
Yeah, 100%. Let's keep it a buck. Shout out to Let's Keep It a Buck podcast, but nah. Kawhi is 32, Paul George is 33. I know that's not necessarily old, but it's with their health, they're getting old. And then James Harden and Russell Westbrook, 34 years of age. So it's they need to make a move, like you mentioned, and they did it. They pulled the trigger. They did what's best for the Los Angeles Clippers organization. They're tired of losing. They want to finally take over LA, I guess. And this is the best team that they've ever had. So it's had to be done. I don't really love the Clippers, but at the same time, I almost want it to work for the sake of the NBA, because, you want to see Paul George, you want to see Kawhi, you want to see all these guys win a ring. Obviously not Kawhi, but it's almost the last stop for James Harden. It's probably the last stop for Paul George. Maybe. No, probably not. But, you get the point. He's getting there in age. Probably the last stop for Russell Westbrook, though, and Harden, those two guys. So it's do or die. I really have to, if I want to deep dive and use my basketball analysis, I just got to see it on the court, because on paper, terrific. For Hall of Famers, but it's one of those ones where it's like we just have to see it. We have to visually see it, and they all need to be healthy for us to really get a gist of what it looks like. But yeah, the great move by the Clippers. And for the Sixers, it's not great, but it's not also bad. Like you mentioned, like they did get depth, and now that Maxey has ascended into an all-star level guy and he looks phenomenal, with Joel still being that MVP caliber dude, they could scare some teams in the East for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And, like I mentioned in the last video, now you've got 4 LA area guys. Harden from Compton, Westbrook from Gardena.
That's so sick.
Or Long Beach. Paul George from Palmdale, which is a little bit outside of LA, but also you could consider it as part of the LA County area. And then also Kawhi Leonard from Riverside, all within that. That's incredible to me that, they've assembled a team of 4 LA guys who have come back to their roots. And, now with the Intuit Dome being built in Inglewood next to the Rams Stadium, a new home for the Clippers, it's an exciting time to be a Clippers fan. You finally get to have your stadium of your own. You get to enjoy 4 Hall of Famers playing alongside each other again. Whether it works, we don't know, but it is an exciting time to be a Clippers fan. You're sort of starting to slowly get out of the shadows of the big brother, the Lakers in LA, and starting to make more of a name and an identity for yourselves, which you probably lacked for a fair while, being a tenant of Crypto.com Arena, formerly Staples Center. So, yeah, an exciting time for all parties involved, and yeah, we'll just have to see how it plays out. Like you said, once they get on the court, that's when we're going to get a true indication and a true idea of how this has really affected both teams. But obviously a big move nonetheless, and yeah, really interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I would love to do, when we see 10 or so games with all these guys playing together, I would love to come back and hop on the mic and chat about, what we've kind of taken away out of this, the Westbrook, Westbrook, Kawhi, Paul George, and Harden, I guess, tandem. But
dynamic.
Yeah, until then, like, it's really just a great team on paper. And I don't want to sound like a hater, but yeah, we just have to see come playoff time what really happens, what goes down.
100%. But yeah, watch this space, guys. Let us know what you guys made of the move by both teams in the comments, and whether you think the Clippers or the Sixers won this trade. And let us know what you think will happen to both of these organizations as the season progresses with these new moves that have been made. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see that interaction continue like we have in other videos. And yeah, feel free to share us your opinion. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. We're nearly at 1,000 subs. We're on our way to our first goal. So we're going to do a jersey giveaway as soon as we hit that 1,000 sub mark. So be in it to win it, guys, and make sure, to continue that support that we've been getting the last 7 months since we started the channel. But for now, this has been your boy Danko from the Bench Mob.
Marks from the Bench Mob. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave a sub, all that good stuff. Let's get it.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
Hello, yes, you at home. This is Commissioner of the NBA speaking to you, Adam Silver. Here's a message in courtesy of Bench Mob in collaboration with the NBA Store. When Bench Mob hits 1,000 subscribers, they'll be giving away a free NBA jersey to a lucky subscriber. So just do all the things listed on the screen. God damn it.